Hey guys, and welcome to Yoga with Katie Cowan. Today is the big 10th video of my quarantine yoga flow. Today's peak posture is going to be Vrikshasana, or tree pose. So we're going to really focus on strong legs, externally rotating the hips, and opening the chest. I also threw in a few twists in there. So let's get started. So today we're going to start on the mat in child's pose. So go ahead and bring your knees about the width of the mat, heels back over the feet, big toes to touch, and then reach the arms forward. Bring your head down to the floor. And then relax the muscles, relax the hips over the heels. Feel this lengthening from the hips up to the armpits. And try to feel that same feeling from your armpits all the way up to your fingertips. And then relax the body, relax it down to the earth. Just try to find your breath here, just to relax. Start connecting to your mat, into your space. Let's all do one big breath together. Deep inhale. And breathe out your nose, exhale. And next inhale, come up to your hands and knees for a tabletop position. So just take a second to adjust, bring your shoulders above your wrists, hips above your knees. Go ahead and ground the tops of your feet down to the earth. And we'll do a few cat and cows to start warming up the spine this morning. Go ahead and inhale, look up, spread the collarbones, arch the back. Exhale, push against the ground, round the back, chin to chest. You can do these at your own breath or with me this morning. Exhale for cat. Inhale, look up, arch the back, spreading the abdominals. Exhale, round the back, tucking that tailbone in. One more inhale, look up. And exhale. And your next inhale, come to a neutral spine. And go ahead and reach your left arm forward. Kick your right leg back. Lengthen here. Inhale. And exhale, bring elbow to knee round the back. Inhale, lengthen as much as you can. Exhale, round the back. Crunch the abs. Inhale, lengthen from fingertip to heel. Exhale, round the back, elbow to knee. Go ahead and plant that left hand and step the right foot between the hands in front of you. Inhale, arms up by the head, reaching up overhead. Go ahead and relax the buttocks muscles. Contract that right hamstring right here. Try to bring the thigh more into the hip so your hips are even. Then maybe feel a bigger stretch in the hip flexors here, in this left hip crease. Go ahead and lunge it out a bit. Once you feel that stretch, just start pulse forward. Bring your hips forward and back. Go ahead and you can relax your arms by your side or on your hips. And go ahead and heel toe your feet out to the right a bit. So you get really into these groin muscles. Try to tilt the pelvis forward a bit. Maybe use your hands to help your hips so then you really feel the stretch in the front left hip crease a little bit more. Maybe walk it out a little bit more. Try to walk it out as much as you can or as you like, nothing too crazy. So you really feel a stretch. Your knees kind of push outward. You feel a stretch in your inner thigh and your hip. Option to stay here or put your hands down to the mat for a bigger stretch. Drop the hips a bit so you really feel a stretch here. You can stay here. You can try to lift the back knee for more of a stretch by tucking the toes and lifting the knee off the mat, pushing your right knee away from you. So this is the full form of lizard. So you can stay here on your hands or come down onto your forearms for a bigger stretch. Just relax the muscles around the hips. Let them stretch. Let the gravity push them down. Maybe move back that gravity. Try to keep the body lifted and feel the restraint here. Option to stay here, do a variation, or join me in twisted lizard by planting your left hand on the ground and opening up to the right. Look back at the back leg, lift it, and grab that back foot for a nice quad stretch here. The hips relax. Feel a stretch in the quad, maybe even flexing the back foot. Now your front knee, you want it to keep pointing away from you. So you can come onto that outer blade, that's fine. Get more into this muscle, your inner thigh muscles. One more big breath here, deep inhale. Relaxing exhale. Go ahead and release the back leg and slowly come back up, moving your hips back. And slowly lunge, just do little lunges as you heel toe your foot back to center, back in front of you. Once you've done a couple lunges here in center, go ahead and send the hips back over the heels, keeping the right heel grounded. Release the weight of the head over this foot. Just hold your body however you'd like, just really feeling the stretch in the belly of these hamstrings. Relax the hips down. Try to keep the chest lifted, broaden the collarbones. And send the hips back, so you're really pulling the hamstrings back as the heel keeps it grounded, so you feel the stretch in the back of the leg. One more breath here, guys. Go ahead and plant the right foot. Come back, frame the front foot and set it back into your tabletop position. Go ahead and sneak a few cat and cows here. Just find your center. When you're ready, reach the opposite arm up, other leg lifts, so right arm, left leg. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale, round the back, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen, fingertip to heel. Exhale, bring it in, round the back. Inhale, reach as much as you can. Exhale, round. Go ahead and step. Plant that right hand, step the left foot between the hands, and inhale, arms up overhead for your low lunge. Go ahead and relax the buttocks muscles down so the pelvis tilts a bit. You really feel the stretch in this hip flexors and in the psoas here in the right hip crease. Go ahead and pulse a bit once you find that stretch. And breathe, guys. You can go ahead and put your hands on your hip if you'd like and start walking the foot out a bit, doing lunges in between every heel toe, just to warm up the muscle into this pose. Start feeling it in the inner groin, in the inner thigh here, and in these hips. Start warming up these muscles. Doing little lunges all the way. And once you've found your max and have done a few lunges here, go ahead and place your hands on the ground if you'd like. And then I'll just get you more into these muscles. Option also pick up the back knee by tucking those toes and lifting it up. You can stay here up on your hands or come down onto your forearms. Get into that muscle a little bit more. Push the back heel back towards the back of the room. So you feel a big stretch in that front thigh and the front hips. This left knee is going outwards, pointing out to the side, away from the body. Push it away if you'd like. Maybe this feels good for you. You can stay here if you'd like to go into lizard twist. You can go ahead and plant that right hand on the ground and turn your body over to the left. Go ahead and reach for that back foot and hold it for your quad stretch. Twisting from the spine here, relaxing the hips down. And twisting the ribs open to the left. Bring that leg in as much as you like. If you can't grab the back leg, an option is also to use a strap. You can help yourself ease into this pose. You can play with flexing the foot and pointing it to try to get into different muscles. One more big breath here, guys. Deep inhale. Relaxing exhale. Go ahead and relax the back leg. Slowly lift the hips up and slowly lunge back to center, sending your hips back and forward. Trying to relieve that tension, any tightness. Once you come back to center, do a few lunges in center and go ahead and send the hips back over the heels, grounding the left heel and letting the weight of the head go over the leg. Try to get into the belly of that hamstring like you did on the other leg. Really grounding the heel and pushing the hips back so you really feel that stretch right in the back of the leg. We're going to try to keep your chest lifted or round. Try to get and bring your nose to the knee if you'd like. Just play around with it, how you feel. Do one more deep breath here, guys. Go ahead and plant that left foot down. Frame the front foot and step it back for tabletop position. Go ahead and tuck the toes, lift the hips for downward facing dog. And then pedal it out as much as you like. Lift the hips. Check your side to side. This is our first downward dog of the day. So go ahead and grip into that mat. Elbows pointing downward so your shoulders wrap around your chest. Heels are pushing down towards the earth. Maybe you pedal it out by bending one knee and pushing the opposite heel down. When you're ready, inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, bring your chest to your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift again, and then get your two peace fingers, so your index finger and your middle finger, and wrap it around the big toe. So you're holding it like this, and you're just going around the big toe if you can reach it. If not, just try to, if you can't reach your feet, then you can go ahead and grab each elbow and just hang, just to add extra weight. But if you can reach your toes, go ahead and grab them, and then pull the chest to the thighs. Lift your pelvis up Your booty's reaching up for the ceiling. And the elbows are pulling you down, and the elbows are going out to the side. So a few breaths here, really get into these hamstrings. Try to push down with the big toe. So you really feel an activation in the inner leg here as well. Every exhale, help relax the muscles. Let the head be heavy, the crown of the head reach for the ground. Go ahead and inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, relax. Inhale, slowly come all the way up to standing, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, arms by your sides, Namaste. Good job. So we're going to take a wide legged stance. So come along onto your mat. And then find your wrist to ankle connection. So ideally you want your ankles to be right under your wrists. So go ahead and inhale, arms up. Exhale, turn to the right. Bend the elbows, shoulder blades touch. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, turn to the left. Bend the elbows, shoulder blades touch. Inhale, arms up, reach overhead. Exhale, arch the back, look up, cactus arms. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. And hinge from the hips, fold forward. Bring your hands onto your mat. Go ahead and relax the head here. Your crown of the head reaching for the ground. Your legs are feeling a bit weak. Try to turn your toes in a bit. Really activate the inner legs, keeping the legs even stronger. Try to put your hands, your fingertips in line with your toes. And breathe here as you feel the body relax. Inhale, halfway lift, ground the left hand. Option if you can't reach the ground here, you can use a prop or come to your fingertips or just float your arms in space. But turn the body, open the body up over to the right side, lifting the right arm up to the sky for a nice little twist. So try to send the hips back as much as you can to create some space in the spine. Send your front hand out in front of you. Try to open the rib cage, guide the rib cage open to the right. Reach up, send your gaze over to that top hand up to the sky. Inhale, reach one more time. Exhale, lower down, come back to center. And relax here for one breath. Relaxing exhale. Go ahead and ground that right hand. Inhale, look up, twist, open up to the left side now. Bring the left arm up, reaching for the sky. You're gonna send those hips back. And maybe you can bring the right hand forward to create more space here in the upper body. So you have space for your spine to twist, for all your organs to move. Remember to breathe. Try to open up these ribs over to the left. Guide the ribs. Move the rib cage over. Try to open them up over to the left. Look up to the left hand. Try to send your gaze high. Twisting from the spine. Inhale deep. And exhale. Go ahead and relax the left arm down back to center. For one big breath here. Now go ahead and start playing with your forward bend here. Start bending one leg and then up the other. Just finding different stretches here. We kind of already warmed up the inner groin area with lizard pose. So maybe you feel that you can go a little bit deeper than usual, or now. Be careful, just listen to your body here, don't go anything too crazy. The option to also pick up that opposite leg. So bend one leg and then flex the other heel, and then send your hips to the other side. Bend that leg, and then lift the heel. Maybe even stay on one leg for a whole breath. Really feeling the stretch here. Try to go as low as you can. I'm taking the fullest form of this pose. Your hips don't have to go this low. So feel the stretch in the inner thigh here. Try to flex the opposite foot as this leg bends. Down. Stay on one side for two breaths or so before switching to the other. And inhale back to center. And slowly just wiggle your way back up. Go ahead and identify where the top of your mat is, whatever foot is closest to the front of the mat. Go ahead and turn those toes pointing forward and send your body with it to frame that front foot into a runner's lunge. Good. Go ahead and step that leg back into plank pose and lower down, go through your vinyasa. So lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Catch your breath here. Inhale, lift the hips, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly come up to standing, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, arms by your sides, Namaste. Good. We're going to take a tree pose or Tadasana. So go ahead and stand tall. Find your Tadasana. So this is how we start and end a lot of our sequences. So go ahead and stand tall. Shoulders down, away from the ears, quads lifted, navel in. Find your strength. Now come up on your left heel, so your left tiptoes. Go ahead and move the left leg out. So the left knee is pointing out, and the left heel is coming into the right ankle. It's like a little kickstand here. So already notice if when you put the weight on the right leg, are you like pushing too far? Just make sure to keep this firm. You want to keep your hips in line as well. So hands on your hips can be a nice little indicator of that. So go ahead and slowly glide your foot onto your calf. Try to find your balance here. Be stable. And your quads and your thighs are strong. And lift up through the crown of your head. Maybe you stay here, maybe you glide the foot past the knee joint into the inner thigh. Wherever it is, just make sure it's not on the knee, not touching the knee joint. You don't want to put any pressure on that. But just if it's on your calf or inner thigh, go ahead and push that heel into the leg. But then your right leg is pushing back. It's firm, it's strong. It's pushing back at that heel. So have these two forces come into your midline and then find balance here. You can bring your hands to prayer pose. In the middle of the chest, you can lift your elbows, shoulders down. Feel the chest go around the hands, belly goes around the hands, so the belly is actually coming inward. Find your drishti, find your stillness. Focus on something that isn't moving. There'd be a spot on the wall or the ceiling. Just try to keep it in front of you and about your height. So it's straight in front of you. Option to keep your hands here or grow your tree. Reach your arms up overhead Grow your branches. Don't watch me. Grow your branches, reach up to the sky. If you're having trouble stabilizing, you can bend that grounding knee a bit, but then just try to come back to the straight leg. Lifting up high, reaching up high to the sky. Yourself lifted. Now try to inhale, look up, reach up high. Exhale, lower that leg down to standing, arms by your side. Good. Shake it out a bit, shake your legs out. It can be a lot to stand and put all your weight on one leg. Let's go ahead and find our Tadasana again and do our next leg. Go ahead and stand strong. Go ahead and shift the weight over to your left leg by coming onto your right tippy toes. Go ahead and move that right knee outward. Knees pointing away from the body and using the left leg as a kickstand. Go ahead and lift it up to the calf and find your drishti. Find your balance, find your foundation for this pose. Make sure your hips are in line. Bring the navel, lower belly into the spine. And go ahead and try to bring that leg higher if you can, into the inner thigh. And try to press that heel into the leg. Leg firms back at the heel into the midline. There's a lot going on with this pose, so just find your middle, your center. Find your drishti. Find a spot on a wall that isn't moving, that you can concentrate on, you can focus on. Hands to heart center, elbows down, shoulders away from the ear. And suck the belly in. Feel the whole upper body come inward around the hands. Option is keep your hands here, grow your tree, try to reach your arms out. And try to reach as high as you can. Find your balance, find your stillness here. Don't forget to breathe. Go ahead and inhale, look up, reach up high. Exhale, relax the body, relax the leg down to the ground, onto both legs. Go ahead and shake it out. Whew. Be a tough one. That was a good strength exercise. Let's go ahead and try to close the hips. So go ahead and shake it out, do whatever you need to do. And then come back to the front of your mat. Come back into Tadasana, or mountain pose. Everything is strong here. Feel how strong your legs feel after doing tree pose on each side. Shoulders down, away from the ears, down the spine. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plank, go through your vinyasa, chaturanga down. Inhale, cobra, or if you have the strength, straighten your arms, upward facing dog. Exhale, send the hips high, downward facing dog. And pedal it out a bit. Find your center in downward dog. Go ahead and inhale, lift the right leg up high. Exhale, step it between the hands. Go ahead and lower the back knee. Inhale, arms up, low lunge. Exhale, hands together, prayer pose, come to heart center. Inhale, chest up, lift. Exhale, turn over to the right and hook the elbow on the outside of that knee for a twist. Go ahead and try to twist the spine here. And maybe you stay here. Yeah, so your right leg is up and you're twisting over to the right, yeah. for closed hip pose. So maybe you stay here, maybe you have more balance now. You can go ahead and try to lift the back knee by tucking the toes and lifting it up for more of a lunge. Get really into the muscles a lot more. Press the right heel back, or let the buttocks bones be heavy so you feel the stretch in your hip flexors as well as you twist from the spine, from the ribs. Try to gaze over the right shoulder a bit, up to that elbow. More big breath here, guys. Relaxing exhale. Inhale back to center. You can stay in your low lunge or into crescent lunge. Inhale, lift. Exhale, frame the front foot, step it back. Go through your vinyasa to lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal it out, find your breath here. Go ahead and inhale, left leg up. Exhale, send it between the hands. So often to lower the back knee, if you had it lower before, you can keep it up and inhale your arms up overhead. Good. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, twist over to the left. Hooking the elbow on the other side of the left leg, on the outside. Pushing the ribs open to the side. Maybe sending your gaze over to that left elbow. Push back with the heels. Find the stretch in the hips. Maybe that makes your buttock muscles heavy, so the pelvis tilts forward. Try to twist with the spine. One more big breath here, deep inhale. Relaxing exhale. And inhale, arms up, back to center. Exhale, frame the front foot. Step it back for plank pose. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal it out one more time, guys. And when you're ready, bend the knees down to the ground so you're in your tabletop position. Send the hips back over the heels for child's pose. Take some big breaths here. Become aware of your breath. Notice if it's fast or heavy. Go ahead and reach as much as you can and breathe. Go ahead and walk your hands over to the right for a nice side stretch. We'll do 3 big breaths here. Breathe into the side body. Deep inhale now. And exhale. Inhale. Do the last one on your own. Breathing to the side, feeling the stretch in the side body with your breath, and then walk your hands back to center. One big breath here. Exhale. Go ahead and walk your hands over to the left side. Do 3 big breaths here as well. Deep inhale. Exhale. The next 2 on your own, breathing into the side body. Let the breath do the stretching in the ribs. And when you're done, go ahead and come back to center. Go ahead and breathe here. Go ahead and send your arms wide, separate your arms so they make like a half circle going back towards your feet. Let your hands relax next to the feet. Shoulder, chest is resting on the legs. Maybe even bring the legs in a bit so then you feel the shoulder blades relax over the legs. Feel the shoulder blades separate. And then inhale, slowly come up to sitting and relax, have a natural breath. So we're gonna go ahead and come onto our backs now. And we're gonna take a couple bridge pose. Go ahead and bring your feet in close to the butt. Maybe wiggle the butt down closer to the feet, arms out by your side, head relaxes on the ground. Make sure your toes are pointing forward. And kind of bring your feet about hip distance apart. So like kind of right in line with the body, not too far out. Go ahead and ground the hands, palms down. And when you're ready on your inhale, we're going to push against the ground, lift the hips high for bridge. So maybe this is what you can go. You're going to go as far as you can. Pretend like you have an imaginary block between the thighs. Pretend like you're squeezing this block. So you want your legs to be that distance apart. And you want your inner thighs to be active. It'll also help release the lower back. You don't want there to be tension in the lower back, so try to squeeze your thighs. Relax the buttocks muscles, lift the shins, lift the chest. Maybe tucking the shoulders underneath and interlacing the fingers. One more squeeze here. And relax, slowly come down one vertebrae at the time. Bring the butts down last, maybe moving the hips side to side to relax the back, relax the butt. Come back to your breath. Okay, we'll just do this 2 more times. Go ahead and point the feet forward. Push into the ground, lift the hips, kind of like you're squeezing your block. Go ahead and tuck the shoulder blades under. Interlace your fingers. It's kind of like in our lunge with our pelvis tilts forward. You feel it a lot more in the hips. So try to do that now. Try to tilt the pelvis and feel the relaxation of the lower back of the buttocks. Breathe here. Bring the chest to the chin, chin away from the chest. And relax, slowly come down to the mat, one vertebrae at the time. Bring the butt down last. Go ahead and move your knees back and forth for a nice little back release. We'll do this one more time. If wheels in your practice, you can do that. Or you can go ahead and continue to do bridge with us. So go ahead and plant your hands, plant your feet, press into the ground, lift the hips off the ground, pulling the hips high up to the sky, also tilting it, releasing the lower back, maybe interlacing the fingers under you. Bring the shoulder heads down to the ground. Bring the shoulders into the chest. Bring the heels up. Pretend like you're squeezing that block between your thighs. One more breath, guys. Exhale, relax the body down slowly to the ground. Go ahead and move the legs back and forth a bit. We're going to bring the legs into the chest. Go ahead and give your knees a big squeeze to the heart. And then we're going to cross the right leg over the left. Try to stack your knees a bit. So you can go out as far as you can, but I'm doing just the peak of the pose. It doesn't matter here how far you can go, but just try to grab your shins or your feet to really bring the legs at opposites here. You want to really feel a stretch in the glute muscles. And then keep the lower back grounded on the ground. Try to leave that on the ground. If you can't touch the ground, then you're probably feeling a really great stretch here in the hamstrings as well. The head relax, the chest relax and open, and try to bring the knees in towards the chest, and then pulling the feet away from each other. Let gravity do the work here. Just relax, feeling the stretch in the glutes and the back of the legs and side of the legs. There's a lot going on here in the hips. Let your exhales relax the muscles and then fall deeper into the pose. Go ahead and release your legs. Bring them back to center and then cross the other one on top. Trying to cross the knees here, bring one on top of the other, and then grabbing the outside of the feet or the shins or the legs, whatever you can do here to feel this leg come forward. Another option is just to do the figure 4 stretch that we've done in previous practices. Really getting into this side of the leg here and the glutes as your knees are pulling in towards the chest, but your lower back is staying on the ground. Relax your shoulders, relax any tension you're holding in your neck and your jaw. Your exhales relax your muscles. And release back to center. Hug your knees into the chest as much as you can. Maybe even bring the head up to the knees. Exhale, extend the legs long. Your feet can be about as wide as a mat. The feet relax, open. Palms up. Arms are heavy down to the earth. Shoulder heads are heavy. Chest is open. Relax the breath, relax the muscles in your face, any expression you might have right now. Just feel your eyebrows fall away from each other. Close your eyes and relax for Tadasana. Try to clear your mind of any thoughts that might have come into your mind. Try not to think of the future or your to-do list. Just feel those thoughts float away. Become aware of the air around you. The air filling your lungs. And your breath. Slight incline and decline of the body as you breathe. And the energy from the breath as it goes down into the body and then back up and out. Feel the releasing effects of every exhale. And the nurturing effects of every inhale. As you inhale, feel the breath follow through the arms, through the fingertips, and then down the body, through the legs and through the toes. And as you exhale, feel that energy come all the way back up into your lungs and out of your nose. Start bringing awareness to the body by deepening your inhale. And as you exhale, hollow out the belly. Push out the air through your pelvis. Slightly wiggle your fingers and your toes. And you're just gliding your thumb over each fingertip and down each finger. Feel the light sensations and awareness in your hands. Just slightly wiggling your toes, reflexing and pointing the foot. Bring some awareness back into your feet and into the arches of your feet. Then bring your left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. So feel the gentle incline and decline of the upper body with each breath. When you're ready, on your next inhale, reach your arms overhead. For a big body, stretch feet, reach down away from the body. And arms reach up, stretching through the midline. Exhale, go ahead and turn onto your right side using your right arm as a pillow. And come into a fetal position here. Go ahead and push your left hand into the earth and push your upper body up and come into a seated position on your mat. Keeping your eyes closed or gaze just soften. Slowly guide the body, shoulders down and away from the ears, head bowed down. Hands can be on your thighs or at heart center. And together, let's do an Om. So exhale, release all your breath, and together we'll do a deep inhale. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. The light inside of me honors and respects the light inside of you. Namaste.